Hey friends, and I'm Safir, and today in this video we will be learning how to divide decimals. So let's start. So the first thing we need to know when we're dividing decimals is that there are two types. So the first type is like dividing whole numbers. So for instance, when there is a decimal and you have a whole number. And another one is where you are dividing decimal by decimal. So basically it says in the title we're dividing a decimal by a decimal. And so we will look into both of them. So let's start with the left one here, whole numbers. So when we're dividing, we need to it's just like normal division. Where the decimal point stays the same as the quotient. So decimal point stays So let's see an example. So if we have our divisor 3 and if we see our quotient, so 42.87, we will say that this is normal division, and when we are dividing, our answer will have a decimal and it will stay the same place as our quotient. So this number here, 42.87. So for example, 3 over 3 divided by 4 once, 12, 4 into 3, 4, 12. And then here, as you can see, we have a decimal point. It has 2 places. So our answer will have 2 places, and then the decimal point will stay at the same place. See, answer, which is this one, 14, quotient. See, it has the same decimal place as our quotient, and it will need to have the same decimal place. 3 into 2, 6, 20, 9, 27. So that's how it go. And our answer for this example will be 14.29. See friends, it's that easy. So let's try it with another one. So our next example, if we have 4 divide 0.0234. Let me just write it a bit neater. So 4 divide 0.0234. So just remember, like last time friends, we will be doing normal division and the decimal point. So when the answer decimal point will stay the same as the quotient. So we just simply divide 0, 0, 0, 5, See, as I done here, we had one decimal place in the quotient. So like after one digit, we placed our decimal place here. So after one digit in our answer, I place the decimal place. So that's what we will be needing to do when you are dividing by a whole number. Got it, friends? I think you do. And then once we keep dividing, 4, 8, 30, 32, so 2, 25. So our answer would be 0.00585. And so let's now look at decimal by decimal. So let's get to it. So what we know for decimal by decimal is, so the key point is here, we have to change the divisor to a whole number. And we have to do whatever change we did to the divisor, we have to do it to the dividend as well. Sorry, whatever change done to the divisor as well, and then we can simply solve. So let's try it with an example. So if we have here 0.03 divide 62.3, sorry, yep, 62.316 divide 0.03. So what we would need to do here, let's look at our note, is change the divisor to a whole number. So 0.03 here is our divisor, and we would need to multiply it by 100 to make it to a whole number. So once, twice, so 0.03 would become to 3. So now it's a whole number. So we multiplied 0.03 by 100. So we need to multiply 62.316 by 100 as well. So let's do it once, twice. So the decimal point would go there. So now our dividend is, yes, dividend is 6,231.6. And now we just simply solve, which is divide. So 3 into 2, 6, 0, 23, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 7, 2, 7. So, and then also what we really need to remember is that wherever the decimal point is, we need to do it the same place in our answer, or our answer is not going to be right. So as we see in our dividend, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers before the decimal point. So we will see in our answer 4 decimal points, and then we pull our decimal place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so our decimal point would go here. So our answer, friends, would be 2077.2. So let's try it with another example. So another one is 6.14 divide 0.2. So remember, friends, what we had done? We had changed our divisor to a whole number. So in this case here, we would times the 0.2 by 10 to make it a whole number. So which would be 2. And now we need to do the same change to our divisor to the dividend. So we times it by 10 once. So now our decimal point would go one space to the right. So our dividend would become 61.4. And now we done it. And now we just simply solve. So 307, and now we see how much decimal places the decimal went. So once and twice, and so we need to carry the same thing in our answer. So once, twice, and our decimal point would land right there. So our answer would be 30.7. So now, friends, let's recap what we have learned today. What we have learned today is dividing decimals. And in dividing decimals, there are basically two parts, or two kind of problems. So the first problem here is that we are dividing. So we have a decimal and we have a decimal and we have a whole number. So what we need to keep in mind is that it is normal division and the decimal point stays the same as the quotient. So that one also goes there. So we just did normal division as seen here, as in our previous example, and we seen here our decimal point stays the same. And so for the second problem, we decimal by decimal, the first thing we need to do is change the divisor to a whole number. So it was 0.2. What we done, we times it by 10 and then we got 2. And then the second thing we do is do whatever change done to the divisor, we do it to the dividend. To the dividend, dividend. So it was 6.14. We times that by 10 as well. So we got 61.4. And then, friends, we just simply solve. But what we need to keep in mind, and it was same as in for dividing for the whole number problem, is that the decimal point stays the same as the quotient. We need to always remember that, or at the end our answer will come wrong. So here we've seen in our previous problem that there were two spaces. So in our answer we did the same thing. We left 2 spaces and then we put our decimal point. And so that's it for today, friends, and bye, and I'll see you next time.